Explorers. Welcome back to our channel. We're the Choose here from Choose to Explore, where we teach you guys how to see the world
and save $1. Today we're sharing the top 10 experiences that we think should be on everyone's South Africa itinerary. From incredible landscapes and safaris to deep, meaningful cultural stops. And while you're here, hit subscribe for some more real-world travel tips that we release every single week that you can actually use. So let's get into the video.
So the first one that we're going to mention is Table Mountain. And this is a World UNESCO Heritage Site, and it's also one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, and for good reason. So we've been to many observation decks around the world, and honestly, I thought it was going to be a tourist trap just like that. But I was really blown away by the experience and the views that we had in Table Mountain.
Yeah, it's really cool whether you decide to take the cable car up, which was beautiful, or even hike up like some people do.
So because Table Mountain has an elevated altitude, a lot of times the weather can be unpredictable. We're talking about overcast and lots of clouds, also known as the tablecloth. Sometimes that could be an itinerary killer, because you may plan to do Table Mountain on your 3rd day of your trip, but it may not be a clear day, or it may be a chilly day. But it does have amazing views, and it's so large. You can even look out and see the coast as well as Robben Island.
So one good thing about when you buy your ticket is that even if the weather isn't good for the date that you intended, you actually have 7 days within those dates to actually go and visit Table Mountain.
So if you are trying to see the world and save a couple of dollars, one thing that you can do is you can buy an afternoon only ticket.
So this is for the cable car. So basically you're limited to only entering and exiting during the afternoon. And it's a little bit cheaper.
But by doing this, you can save like $3 or $4. So it depends if you think it's worth it.
I also wrote an entire article about Table Mountain for you to know before you head up there, and it's linked in the description below. You can find it on choosetoexplore.com. So next up, we recommend a Soweto tour. Now, Soweto is at the center of South Africa's freedom struggle, and if you do a local tour with a local guide, you can definitely get a better understanding of what life was and still is like around there.
So Soweto is actually the largest black township in all of Johannesburg.
So it's really important to visit key spots like Vilakazi Street, which has Nelson Mandela's house, as well as Desmond Tutu's house, visiting the Hector Peterson Memorial, and also supporting many local businesses along the way. So our next top recommendation is beach hopping in Cape Town. So you can actually hang out with penguins at one beach and then go surfing at another beach all in the same afternoon.
There are so many amazing beaches in Cape Town, and that's one of the reasons why it's voted as the best city in the world.
So some of our top recommendations for beaches in Cape Town include Camps Bay, which has beautiful views of Table Mountain.
Honestly, this beach kind of reminded me of South Beach in Miami. It's beautiful, it has amazing ocean views, it has the mountains. I highly recommend this beach.
Yes, also Muizenberg Beach that has the beautiful different colored changing rooms, and you can also do a lot of surfing there.
Yes, there were a lot of people that were even kite surfing, but I will note that this is one of the windiest beaches, no, not one of the windiest beach I've ever visited in my life.
And also would recommend Boulders Beach, which has a bunch of penguins that you can see up close and personal. Really cool.
This is actually where I decided to spend my birthday, and I was not disappointed with that choice. It was truly an amazing experience.
But when you do visit these beaches, just be cautious and make sure you go in when there's other people also in the water, when there's no rip currents, there's no red flags. Just use safety and also be aware if there's any lifeguards as well. So just safety first when you go to the beach.
One thing that I loved about Cape Town is a lot of the beaches actually have tide pools, which actually help to break the current. So if there are beaches and you don't see people swimming there, look to see if there are tide pools. And that way you can enjoy the beach experience without worrying so much about those rip currents.
And in Cape Town, we visited so many different beaches, more than just the ones that we mentioned here. So definitely check out that vlog, our full Cape Town vlog, which is linked in the description below, as well as in the top right corner, so you can check them all out.
The next thing that you need to do in South Africa is visit the Apartheid Museum.
So the Apartheid Museum gives you the full history of apartheid in South Africa from start to finish, and it's really important to visit there if you do want to understand the full history of South Africa today. And it's definitely not something that you want to rush. You probably want to spend about 2 or 3 hours there. Just know that it's not suitable for children under 11 years of age, but for older kids and adults, definitely take your time and pay the visit.
It not only spoke about apartheid in South Africa, but it also let you know the history of South Africa, from different colonial leaders to their independence and their current state in the world. The next thing that we'd recommend is going on a wine tour in South Africa. South Africa is world renowned for some of the best wines and the best wine regions in the world. So it's only right that you do this in South Africa. Even in the airport, we saw so many different signage about the wines here in South Africa. So we are super excited to try it.
So we ended up visiting what has been ranked one of the most beautiful vineyards in the world, and that's Boshendel Winery. And we only paid about 20 USD for a wine tasting and pairing, so it was well worth it.
What I really loved about Boshendel is that it's a lot more than just a winery. They had their own little grocery store where you can pick up things to have like your own picnic. They had little like horse experiences. It had gardens. It was just a truly beautiful winery.
It's also worth it to check out a Black-owned winery, and we'd recommend the Klein Goderust Winery, and it's also in that same region.
But one thing to note about the wine region in Cape Town is it's a little bit of a hike. I would say a little over an hour to get there, and it wasn't an issue for me because I'm Liv's designated driver, so I had no issue driving there.
Yes, but if you don't have a designated driver, you need to book a tour. And we have different tours that we recommend included in our Explore South Africa travel guide, but please, enjoy the winery, enjoy the wine tours, do not drink and drive.
Be responsible, guys.
Now, when most people think about South Africa, they think about safaris. And let me tell you, South Africa does not disappoint when it comes to a safari.
One of the best things about South Africa is that there are a wide variety of safaris to choose from. A lot of people know about Kruger National Park, which is one of the biggest safaris in the world and one of the most beautiful as well. But it doesn't stop at Kruger. There are tons of other smaller safaris that have so much to offer and give you an opportunity to see the Big Five. So if you don't know, the African Big Five is going to be the elephant, the rhino, the lion, the leopard, and the buffalo. During our time in Johannesburg, we actually went to a smaller safari, and let me tell you, it was an amazing experience. We actually saw the Big Five in under 45 minutes, and it was amazing.
We got really lucky.
So the tour was actually under $130 per person, and it included lunch, it included 2 game drives, it included transportation, which was only about 2 hours away from Johannesburg, and is one of the main reasons why we chose this safari. To see our full experience in the safari, as well as everything we did in Johannesburg, you can see that video linked in the top right, as well as in the description below.
The next thing on our list is heading out to the Atlantis Dunes and either getting on an ATV or sandboarding. And while a lot of people think about the safaris in South Africa, not many people consider the dunes, but don't miss out on the dunes.
I was really excited when I heard about the dunes here in South Africa. It was actually under an hour away from downtown Cape Town, and it's beautiful white sand dunes. I booked a 30-minute ATV tour, and it was amazing. We actually were out for over an hour, and I'm not mad at them. It was a guided tour. They showed us how to use the ATVs, and we were ripping and raving through the desert dunes. I may have had too much fun, and the instructor actually might have scolded me a couple times, but it was all worth it. You definitely want to add this on your list and make some time in your South Africa itinerary for this.
So next on our list is Mandela House. So this is right on Vilakazi Street, like we mentioned earlier. It's currently a museum, and it costs about $10 per person to enter. Now you can see a lot of the different artifacts in his house, as well as learn more about him and his fight for freedom. And it's even more meaningful if you pair it with a full Soweto tour, so you can get the broader context. So videotaping is not allowed inside of Mandela's house, but we did learn a lot from the guides that were there to teach us all about it. Next on our list is a Signal Hill sunset.
Say that 3 times fast.
No, I'm not gonna let you do it. Let me hear you guys do it. Let me know if you did it in the comments.
So Cape Town and Rio de Janeiro go neck and neck to me for the best sunrises and sunsets in the world.
I agree.
The combination of the beautiful lush landscape, the mountains, the beaches, just set it over the top. And the best place to see it is Signal Hill.
And you don't even have to hike or anything. You can drive right up, park your car on the side like everyone else, and just admire the gorgeous views.
And because it's so convenient, everybody and their mother want to go and see it at Signal Hill. But let me tell you, it's worth it even with all the people there. Once you deal with the traffic and finally parking, you are left with the most amazing views. You look on one side and you have the city, you have Robben Island, you have downtown, you have the sunset, you have the water. You look the other way and it's beaches, it's Camps Bay, it's gorgeous, let me tell you. But being that it's sunset and there's so many people, it's going to be a lot of traffic coming down. It's going to be dark, but it's going to be beautiful and worth it.
And the number 10 thing on our list is visiting Cape Point and Cape of Good Hope. And this is where you can see some of the most dramatic scenery in South Africa.
So the southern tip of Cape Town is a beautiful, picturesque national park.
And in order to drive through, you actually have to pay 25 USD per person, and it's with a credit card only.
But this drive through the park is going to be some of the most beautiful scenery that you will see. Also, you can spot a lot of wildlife as well. We saw ostriches, we saw baboons, we saw an oryx, right?
Yeah.
We saw so many things in this on our drive through. And there are plenty of stops that you can make in the national park, and you can actually grab a map right at the ticketing booth to choose where you want to go.
Yes, but the two spots that we enjoyed the most were definitely Cape Point and the Cape of Good Hope.
Now these are going to be the southern tips of South Africa. Here you can find your typical tourist photo ops where everybody's going to be there taking pictures, but they have beautiful views and scenery. Being a big history person, this was super cool to go there and visit it, but one thing that I will note is there's a lot of shipwrecks along this coast because the waves and the wind here are so choppy. Now with these amazing views, you do have to hike a little bit to get there, but in Cape Point, it actually has a cool tourist attraction where you can take the funicular right up there and you don't have to hike.
Yeah, it's about $6 per person, I believe.
But there also are restaurants that you could go and enjoy the beautiful views, but it is a little bit pricey, but it's a tourist attraction, so what do you expect?
So there you have it. That was the 4th video in our South Africa travel series. First, we let you know all the top things you need to know in our Know Before You Go to South Africa video. Then we showed you everything we spent and did in Cape Town, full vlog. Then we took you through Johannesburg with that travel vlog that also showed all the prices of everything. And now this one with our top things to do in South Africa.
So if you found this video helpful at all, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe because we got so much more content and guides from all over the world every single week.
Yes, and be sure to grab your copy of the Explore South Africa Travel Guide, which you can find on choosetoexplore.com. And since you're watching this video to the end, I'm going to let you know that if you buy 2 guides, you get 1 free with code EXPLORER. So don't miss out on that.
Now, while this is the end of South Africa, it's not the end of our Africa series or my birthday series because in the next video next week, we're actually going to Namibia. So be sure to check that out. So we'll see you guys on the next one.